Well, at this point, let me quickly welcome Professor Oshita Oshita. He's the Director General for the Institute of Peace. He joins us live from our Abuja studios by Skype. Good morning and thanks for joining us, Professor Oshita.
Thanks for having me.
Well, good to have you. Well, in the FCT where you are at the moment, there won't be any elections for tomorrow. But looking at 29 states from across the nation, they are going to the polls tomorrow. What does this mean, looking at drawing from the experience of the presidential election? What do you think we can transport into tomorrow's elections?
Thank you. I believe basically our appeal to Nigerians is for them to demonstrate the same spirit of non-violence and peaceful engagement during the voting process, both from the accreditation and the voting itself. And all agencies, the Institute for Peace and Conflict Resolution, the National Peace Committee, and the coalition of NGOs, including international observers, are all expecting the same show of peaceful conduct from Nigerians. To that extent, I believe that the applause that Nigerians got from the international community, we believe that no individual will work towards reversing, that kind of accolade that we all have. So we pray that things will go normal. We are aware that some states are to be watched, specifically because of the tendencies that we find in those places. But I must say that Nigerians will not take it kindly anyone who wants to reverse the gains of the last election. And I'm sure that people have gotten the message, both from Mr. President and Mr. President-elect, and the fact that what Nigerians need to focus on now is how to build a peace in our country and not to diminish any the state of peace that we have through any actions. Politicians, my message to them will be that just like Jim Hendricks said a long time ago, we must replace the power of love with the love of power, because we must have a country before we have an ambition.
Well, I was just going to ask you, though, do you think that more people will turn out? Looking at what we had at the presidential polls, we had roughly about 25 million voters coming out to cast their ballot. Is that figure good enough, looking at 58 million people who are said to have collected their PVCs? Are you looking to see a bigger turnout, say, for the governorship elections?
Yeah, a number of variables will have to be taken into consideration. In those states where some characters have been talking tough, it may affect, the turnout. But there are many more states where people want to build on the experience of the last election, and so we expect that there will be large turnouts in those states, while people might be a bit careful in those places where politicians are talking as if they are warlords.
Did we still have that in this? We've had that in the last 2 weeks?
Well, basically, you will recall that the last time, before the presidential National Assembly elections, you asked me a question about the tension you saw in the country, and I told you clearly that I didn't see the tension. And here we are, we have passed through that road. I do not think that we will ever have that level of apprehension in the polity. So I do not see any serious tension overall.
But what are the permutations, though? You've talked about certain states that need to be watched. Do you really believe that some states need to be watched? Some people believe that all states should be watched because you do not know where the upsets will come from.
Yeah, in different degrees. In different degrees. All states surely have to be watched, but there are states that are flashpoints for a number of reasons that you and I can see in the public domain. That's what I mean by some states, to be emphasized on more than others. There are a number of states I can tell you things will be very smooth, but we do not need to preempt the situation. We are just on the eve of the elections, and by tomorrow we will be reviewing this.
Well, we get to your gist there, but we'll go on a short break, and when we'll come back, we'll also be looking at what the Peace Institute is doing to ensuring that this is truly maintained, as well as the National Peace Committee headed by General Abdulsalam Abubakar, seeing what we can get from that particular committee. Well, Nigeria 2015 takes a moment now. We'll return shortly. Stay with us.